Number 12, we're given the function and we want to find the vertex, determine if there's a minimum or maximum, and find that value, find the range and the intervals on which the function is increasing or decreasing. And we are going to start out by finding the vertex form of this function. So we have to complete the square. Now, we can answer a couple of questions already. The fact that this leading term is negative and we have an x squared means that our parabola will be going downward. And that tells us that we will have a maximum. Okay, so we can figure that out just from the standard form of the equation. But we're going to turn this into vertex form. So we're going to do negative 4x squared minus 20x. I'm going to move this constant over. So we're going to have equals negative 5. So this is 0. We move it over. It's negative 5 on the other side. Now we have to have a positive 1 here. So we have to divide out a negative 4 from these terms, or factor out a negative 4. And then we have just positive x squared divided by negative 4 will give us a positive 5x. And then we need a plus a blank spot because we're going to be adding something to both sides. Okay, so what we're adding, we divide this term by 2 and square it. So that is 5 divided by 2 squared. All right, when we add this to this side, I'll leave it in that form. I can't do 5 divided by 2. It's going to be a decimal, so I want to leave it in fraction form. And then whenever I add it to this side, if you have a constant outside, you have to multiply that. So what I'm actually adding to this side, this negative 4, is going to get distributed, and it's going to change this 5 over 2 squared. So 5 over 2 squared is going to get multiplied by negative 4. So 5 squared is 25, and 2 squared is 4. All right, so when we multiply this, this ends up being negative 25. So at the end of the day, what I've actually added to both sides is negative 25. And so that 4 will divide out, negative 1 times 25, we get 25. All right, so now we're going to simplify and, factor and simplify. The shortcut to factoring is taking the 2 squared terms, the x and the 5 over 2, which is positive, and put the square on the outside, so it's factored. Over here, combine negative 5 and negative 25, we get negative 30, and then move it back over. So we have f of x equals negative 4, and then x plus 5 over 2 squared plus 30. All right, so this is our equation in vertex form. So now we can find the vertex, opposite of the x value, so negative 5 over 2, which when we graph this, we probably want it in decimal form, so that's negative 2.5. Okay, just so you know, we'll just kind of keep this up here. Negative 5 over 2 is the same as negative 2.5, and then the y value is 30. That's the vertex. We have determined that there is a maximum. Okay, and you can also see because of the negative out front. And the value of that maximum is the y value of the vertex, which is 30. We want to find the range. Okay, so since this parabola is opening downward and the maximum value up here we have negative 2.5, 30. The range, the y values are going to be from 30 all the way down. Okay, so we actually go from least to smallest, from smallest to largest. So the range, since it's going down, is coming from a negative infinity, and it goes all the way up to 30. And we can't see what I'm writing. Range negative infinity up to 30. Now 30 is included, so we put it in a bracket. And then increasing and decreasing. We read that from left to right. So increasing from left to right, from the left side being negative infinity, increasing until we get to this x value of 2.5, going left to right, and that's reading the graph like this. So actually I did this wrong. That should be on this side, okay, because that's a negative value. And so that's going to be a negative 2.5 all the way up here at 30. So coming from the left, this graph is all the way left, 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 and it stops increasing at 2.5, and it starts decreasing. So negative 2.5. With increasing and decreasing, we don't do brackets. We don't say if that point's included. We're just looking for the interval on where it's increasing and decreasing. And then decreasing from negative 2.5, and it starts going down from left to right all the way to positive infinity. That's the right side. Okay, so these are our 4 points. We're going to insert all of that here. So the vertex is going to be, and it says type order pairs using integers or fractions. So we actually are going to be okay with the fraction. Negative 5 divided by 2 and 30. We have the parabola opening downward has a maximum value of 30. What is the range? So the range interval notation was negative infinity, not negative 8, negative infinity to positive 30. And you put a bracket around that. And then the function is increasing from negative infinity up to negative 2.5 in the x direction. And then the function is decreasing on the interval negative 2.5 to positive infinity.